notion of us and them, and I am always them. I remember going to Coles on a warm Aussie summer's day. I drove to my local shops. I gleefully walked into the centre that read Alexander Heights Shopping Centre with the good old kookaburra pasted right next to it. I was excited. My lips watered as I stared at all the different flavours I could try. Did I want peppermint with chocolate chips? Did perhaps a splice with a pineapple fruity flavoured outer shell and creamy ice cream goodness? Or maybe even My thought chain was interrupted by a woman who was tutting in the aisle right next to me. Maybe she was disappointed like me, I said to myself. Maybe like me, she just couldn't decide. I guess we're both unlucky, I thought. I'd finally decided to go with the cookie-flavoured ice cream sandwich. The woman continued her tutting and said, "You can't wear this," she said. "What you're wearing is unacceptable." I was so ready to walk away, but this time I just couldn't let it slide. My lips quivered, my eyebrows twitched. This woman was old enough to be my nan. I continued to the checkout when this lady came closer and closer. The imaginary bubble I considered there had now vanished. She just kept coming closer and closer. I stood there listening to what she had to say. "This is a free country. I can wear whatever I want to," I explained. I looked at the woman who so very clearly was regurgitating something she'd heard. I got into my car that day, ripped the top of my ice cream and scoffed my face to remind myself of what sweetness tasted like. But it was gone. The taste of sweetness had now dissolved, and all I could taste was the strong, pungent, salty taste of discrimination. I kept hearing those words as I drove on my way home. "You are the other. You're an outsider. You do not belong." It's first period. My eyelids are still glued to my eyes. I sneak in, sit at the back of the classroom, completely out of harm's way. We have a relief teacher. He enters the classroom. I respectfully greet him as he walks towards me and my friend. "Jane," he proceeds, "do you consider yourself a free thinker?" "Amran, I very clearly know that you have a religion," he says as he points to my hijab, completely dismissing me. There it was again, that reminder. You are an outsider. You are the other. You do not belong. Innocently using a lift at a shopping centre nearby, a mother with her children doing their usual shopping rounds. "They should have a separate lift for these creatures with scarves on their head," he said, before yelling as they got out of the lift, screaming, "Get out of here! We don't want your kind here." There it was again, that reminder. You're an outsider. You're the other. You do not belong. Or the time a suspected petrol bomb was placed in a car parked outside the Thornley Mosque. A reminder, yet again, you are the other. You're an outsider. You do not belong. I wish I could tell you that I feel completely resolved, that things like these don't get to me. In fact, incidents like these leave a scar, a mark, a salty taste in your mouth. Can you imagine growing up and being taught that the villains come dressed in the very fabric that makes you? I wish I didn't have to hold my breath every time I'm on the bus, train, or even in the shopping centre. I wish you wouldn't assume, meaning to make an ass out of you and me. See, society consistently tries to force me into this mold I know I shall never fit into. But the question is, will society ever fit into my mold?